Started. I hope everybody is doing well. I am going to share my screen really quick and then we will get started. All right, hopefully everybody can see my screen.
Yes.
Perfect. All right, man, that was great music, Sandra. Thank you for sharing that. Love to. We always need something to wake us up. Sometimes we need more than just coffee, right? Well, I just want to welcome everyone to our office hours Q&A session. As you know, we conduct these sessions leading up to every compliance checkpoint. This session is actually specifically designed just for you because it allows you to ask questions and get clarification on the upcoming compliance deadline. And so for the next 27 days, you should all be focused on managing your non-member agents on your BCT to ensure that your NMSP score is at 97% or higher on August 31st. And so, again, our goal today is to allow you to get your questions answered regarding the compliance process, financial records, or broker-related questions or issues, or anything related to membership policies and procedures. Sandra and I are focused on helping every association meet the compliance objective at each checkpoint. I will say one of the biggest misconception is that compliance starts a few weeks or a month before a deadline. It doesn't. It's actually a year-round process that starts from January 1st to December 31st. However, we have specific checkpoints in place to ensure that associations remain compliant with NAR's variable dues policy throughout the year. Those deadlines are April 30th, August 31st, and December 1st. Now, keep in mind those dates can change depending on if the deadline falls on a weekend or near a holiday. However, we will always keep you informed if that deadline date ever changes. Now, the August 31st deadline is fast approaching, right? And we have approximately 27 days to meet that deadline. And so, what this means is all associations must have a 97% or higher NMSP score on August 31st. Again, we're not looking at your realtor score. We're actually basing the compliance objective off of your NMSP score. And so, leading up to every compliance checkpoint, we send out two preliminary compliance letters to the AE and the board president. The first communication is scheduled to go out to the AEs on Monday, August 17th. And this communication will include your NMSP scores as of August 17th. The
Sorry,
sec
Kingsman. Your camera went off.
Did it?
Yeah, just click turn it on.
Oh, I'm sorry. Can you guys hear me though?
Yes.
Oh, beautiful. All right. All right. So the second communication is scheduled to go out to your board president on Monday, August 24th, and it will only contain your count of delinquent non-member agents and not your actual NMSP score. Now, the reason why we send out this communication to your board president is because number one, it is required by our legal department. And then number two, so that your board presidents are not caught off guard if their association is out of compliance by the deadline and they get called into a hearing. So, to help minimize unnecessary concern, the language used in their communication will be more measured and less alarming, but it will still convey the importance of meeting the compliance objective. So, what key priorities should local associations focus on leading up to the deadline? Well, sorry about that. Right now, local associations should be focused on your delinquent records and your NMSPs in the grace period that will be delinquent within the next 27 days or less. So you can easily identify your delinquent records on the BCT from two sections. Number one, under the NMSP score, there's a count next to delinquent, And then number two, you can view your delinquents by clicking on the delinquent section. Now, these are the two places where you can click to view your list of delinquent non-members. And then after you click on any one of those sections, it's going to display your delinquent non-member agents. From here, you can actually export the file to an Excel spreadsheet and then sort your list by DR and send a communication out to your brokers regarding their non-member agents. You should also be focused on your non-member agents who are in the 30 and 15-day grace period as well. Now, if you allow these records to become delinquent, they will negatively impact your association's NMSP score. And so for that reason, we also recommend including these non-member agents in the communications that you send to your brokers so that your brokers have an opportunity to resolve the issue for their delinquent agents and their agents in the grace period that are soon to be delinquent as well. So when you're communicating with your brokers, you want to be sure to include the options that are available to the broker for resolving these issues, right? They should be aware of the available solutions that will help them take the appropriate action to resolve this matter as quickly as possible. So let's talk about the options that are available to your brokers when it comes to resolving issues with their non-member agents. Now, in order for the association to achieve compliance, the broker must determine how each non-member agent will operate, right? That's why it's important that your communication to your brokers clearly outlines both the deadline for responding back to you and the options available to resolve the issue. So your brokers have four options. Number one, they can pay the non-member assessment for the agent. Number two, they can remove the agent's license from the brokerage, which place the agent's license in non-member status. They can have the agent join as a realtor member, or they can certify the agent as a LIFRO by completing and signing the LIFRO certification form. Now, if the broker does not respond or take action by your deadline, the association should send a final communication notifying the broker that their membership will be inactivated on the specified date that you choose if the issue remains unresolved. Now, keep in mind, you never want to inactivate your brokers on a Friday. You don't ever want your brokers to go an entire weekend without being able to work, right? So you want to inactivate your brokers Monday through Thursday, but never on a Friday. So, how can the membership department support the associations leading up to the deadline? So, we are going to be available between now and August 31st to update records on your behalf, answer any questions that you might have, or help resolve any data issues. And so, this means if you have agents whose license status becomes licensed MBA, and the record is still showing up on your BCT and impacting your NMSP score, we will add them to the DRE exemption list. You just need to send us an email with their name and NERD's ID number, and we'll update our records. And then you'll see the update on the BCT the very same day. If you have members that have paid their dues and they have a 2026 financial record on M1, and then the member becomes inactive or terminated for whatever reason, we will add them to an exemption list. Also, if you have non-members with a financial record on M1, but they still show up as unpaid on the BCT, we will either process their financial record or they will be added to a temporary exemption list until we can get that financial record processed and updated on the BCT. And so your role in this process is to send us an email and include the member's name and NERD's ID number. And then our role is to get the records updated so that you can see the update on the BCT and so that you can see the increase in your NMSP score as quickly as possible. Now, just to mention, if you have agents that are licensed MBA, you just want to make sure that you check DRE to confirm that the license status shows licensed MBA or the license date shows expired if we're adding them to the exemption list. Also, you want to check M1 to confirm that the financial record appears on M1 if we're processing a financial record or adding someone to the paid exemption list. And so, again, these are the steps that we're going to take to assist the association so that we can ensure that every association is compliant by the deadline. So, just a quick recap. Right now, we should all be focused on the delinquent NMSPs and those NMSPs entering delinquency within the next 27 days or less. Members that are eligible for an exemption, please send an email to Sandra and myself. The August 31st deadline applies exclusively to your NMSP score and not your realtor score. And then also avoid deactivating brokers on a Friday. And then last, if you have any questions, please reach out to me and Sandra because we're here to assist you. All right, so real quick, let's talk about the compliance procedures that we follow after each deadline has passed. So we're going to take a snapshot of the NMSP scores on Monday, August 31st at 5 p.m. We're going to notify the C.A.R. legal and leadership team regarding non-compliant AORs on Tuesday, September 1st. Non-compliant AORs will receive a notification that will be sent out to the AE and the board president regarding a potential hearing at the upcoming fall business meetings in Long Beach. Our goal is to prevent any hearings from taking place. And so our focus is making sure all associations are compliant on August 31st. All right, and so it's that time where we can jump into our Q&A session. So let me just stop sharing my screen. Hopefully that prompted some questions. Do we have any questions, Sandra?
I think no one, I think everyone's doing an amazing job. There's no questions.
Keysman, if I may.
Oh, yes, absolutely.
Jason Catalano, Contra Costa Association. Good morning to all. Is there an update or a status Sharon had asked regarding some software updates that may have been planned for BCT?
Yes, that we are definitely going to be discussing that at our fall business meetings at our training session. We are going to we're actually doing a full overhaul of the BCT. We're expecting to roll out a new BCT. I don't know if I should share this now because I wanted to share it at the fall business meeting, but since you guys are here, it is expected to be pushed out in 2027, probably around the fourth quarter of 2027. So our IT team is working very hard to get that done for us.
Thank you.
You got it. Aaron, I see your hand.
Hey Keith, man. Hey Sandra. Thank you for everything. I think my question is kind of in conjunction with the question I was just asked. I just wanted to say is that update going to include the leverage? I know we talked about at one point the weighted how the BCT is weighted. Right now I worked on so many people, but I'm still at 0%. And when you get down to maybe the last five people, it's still showing at 0%, which makes the president and my AE, scared. But I only have five people that I need to take care of. When will we see updates on that, or will we see updates on that?
Yeah, you will. So that's also going to be included with the new BCT system. So we are looking at how the system calculates the NMSP score, and so it is going to change. It's going to be more fair across the board, and so we are working with our IT department on that formula because the current formula was created almost 15, 20 years ago, and so it is time to make that change. So you won't see it in the current version. You'll see it in the upgraded version that will be available in 2027. So once we get past the fall business meetings, you'll definitely hear more about this new system that's coming. And we'll also need your feedback as well because a lot of times we can create something that we think would work for you, and so we want to get your feedback on what you would like to see in this new BCT system. And so we're going to have more communications right after the fall business meetings for sure.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
There's a question in the chat. It says, if we have 100% now and no one in the 30-day range, are we able to submit our screenshot now for compliance?
We can't. We actually have to. That would be nice, but we actually have to take the snapshot on August 31st. But I will say, even though you're at 100%, I would still continue to monitor your BCT leading up to August 31st because you just never know what could happen. Yeah, it is important because I have seen associations where we kind of celebrated a little too soon and someone actually went in and inactivated a member on the deadline date and it changed their score to 0%. And so we just want to make sure that all associations are monitoring their BCT score all the way up until the deadline.
Another one says, first year doing this, is this basically geared towards those associations with non-members, confused with the difference between the first and second compliance?
Let me make sure I understand that question. Can you say that one more time, Sandra?
It says if this is geared towards associations with non-members, they're confused with between the difference from the first and the second compliance. I'm not sure if they're talking about the compliance that happened in April or if the billing compliance.
Are you willing to come off the mic and give us a little bit more detail, just so I can make sure I answer your question correctly?
Hi, yes. This is Tammy. I'm with Jillian at the Paradise Association.
Hi there.
Hi. So, in looking at the compliance, so the one that was in April, is that I'm confused between the difference between that one and this one. And that's why the question is it those that have non-members or what would be different?
So it's actually the same. We actually do a checkpoint 3 times throughout the year. So we're good. We do a checkpoint in April, and now we're doing a checkpoint in August, and then the last checkpoint is in December. And so the goal is to just make sure that your NMSP score is at 97% or higher at each checkpoint. It's really just making sure that the associations are abiding by NAR's variable dues policy, which is managing those non-member agents.
Okay, so back up for 1 second.
Mhm.
So is it dealing with like the annual NAR and CAR fees?
No, this is just this is non-member related.
Okay.
So anything dealing with billing is going to be separate from this compliance deadline.
Okay.
Yep. So you really just want to look at your BCT. You want to look at your NMSP score. You just want to make sure that you're at 97% or higher. You also want to make sure that you don't have any agents that are in the grace period that are soon to be delinquent. And so that's really your goal at this point, is just making sure your score is 97% or higher and that you don't have any non-member agents that are going to be delinquent within the next 27 days or less.
Okay. And the non-members, are they billed differently than the annual?
So non-members, it's your broker's responsibility to actually determine how those agents will operate. So if you have any non-members in the grace period or that are delinquent, you just want to make sure you get a communication out to your brokers. And so we do have sample communications that you can use, and you also want to include the options that are available to the broker to resolve those issues.
Okay, I appreciate it. Thank you.
You're welcome.
And just to clarify, the non-members that appear on the grace period, this type tends to be if they were active throughout the year and then suddenly they got inactivated, but they're still having their license attached to a broker who's primary with your association.
Okay. Great, thanks.
Next question is the December deadline. This year it's falling on the 4th. because we are coming right from a holiday. So the holiday for Thanksgiving weekend, we just wanted to give just a little extra time in case there's any new members that fall into that delinquent grace period.
So I will add, one of the things that we do, that we've done over the years, is we try to push the associations to reach compliance before Thanksgiving so that we can all enjoy that time off and not have to come back and worry about a compliance deadline. We still have that, that deadline in place for December 4th, but if we can all be compliant before the holiday, then the December 4th deadline goes away because all associations met the compliance objective. But that also means that we can't have one association that didn't make it and then we're still focusing on that one. That means if one association cannot be compliant, then we still have to meet that December 4th deadline. So there's more to come on that. Leading up to that deadline, we always make sure that we reach out to the associations to let you know that we're making a push for all associations to be compliant before the Thanksgiving holiday. I know I want to be at home enjoying, my food and not thinking about having to come back to a compliance deadline. And so it just makes that holiday so much more fun and easy and resting.
There was a question that was sent directly to me, but it's I think something that we can touch on. The NAR has already released their lobbying percentages for 2027.
Mhm.
When will C.A.R. have it soon for the new 2027 boost statement? So we actually have already scheduled it. It's going to be on Monday, October 26th at 10 a.m. This one is where our legal department comes and speaks about the due statements for the following year.
And I know you're probably wondering, why is it pushed out so far? That's almost going into November. Normally, we do have the dues billing training session always a little earlier, but this year it's going to be a busy year for all of us, not just for C.A.R., but also for the local associations, because we have the business meetings the first week in October, which starts on the 5th. And then we have 1 week where uh, we're really not doing anything but just preparing for the edge meetings, which is the following week. And the reason why we didn't choose to conduct that dues billing training session the week after the business meetings is because it usually takes our legal department, not our legal department, but our finance department, a little over a week to supply us with the, our lobbying percentages. We also have to make sure that all of the legal documents are updated. And so there's a lot of things that come into play before we can have that dues billing training session. And we also like to have that information uploaded to C.A.R.org before that training session. And the reason why we do that is because right after the dues billing training session, we like to make sure that the associations, if they're prepared, they can already start the process to sending their dues billing statements and online portals for review. And so we had to push it out to late October. So I do apologize about that. It's only because we have the edge meetings right after the fall business meetings.
There's another question. If you can explain the screenshot, because they were wondering if they need to submit a screenshot for their association on the August, or if this is something that we have access to.
No, actually, the associations don't send us a screenshot of your compliance score. We actually take a snapshot. We can actually see a list of all of the associations. We can see your compliance score. And so that's how we actually monitor everybody's score leading up to the deadline. And so we're reviewing that daily and weekly. And if we have associations that are not at 97% or higher, we're going to reach out to you. But on August 31st, we're going to take the snapshot. Once we take that snapshot, then we're going to send a communication out to the associations, letting you know whether or not you met the 97% compliance objective.
Will there be a membership meeting at the fall meeting?
Yes. So we have not sent out the communicate. I don't think that communication has gone out yet, right?
No, I was trying to send it out this week actually. I feel bad for the AEs because they're getting so many emails from me for everything. So I didn't want to keep adding to it. But we're trying to send it out this week.
Yeah, so we're actually doing a training session at the fall business meetings. It's October 5th at
9.
9 a.m. So it's going to be from 9 to 12. We do have a guest speaker, Chris DeRosa, that is going to be presenting with me as well. I think we have a couple of other presenters. We have our finance team that's going to be presenting that morning. We're also providing coffee and what else, Sandra?
Some like scones or half burritos.
Yeah, so we are going to feed you. I know it's going to be early, so you don't even need to make a stop for coffee. You can just come right in if you are planning to attend. So that will
I mean,
be
unless you want your Starbucks coffee, it's different.
so again, that will be October 5th at 9 a.m.
Yes, we'll go ahead and send an email to the AEs with the registration link because we do want to have a head count just to make sure we can accommodate a good size room for everyone. It will be at Hyatt Hotel. They just have to, they're still working on the rooming situation, but the AE should be able to also register any staff that they would like for them to attend as well. Then the last question I have is says, will the 3 checkpoint dates be current that we currently have April, August, and December change with the new updates to the BCT that are planned in 2027?
No, they will remain the same. Yep, those dates will remain the same.
That's the last question I have, unless anyone wants to unmute, give a comment. We did have and I'm not sure if you're in the call, but at the last office hours, we did have a survey that we sent out, and some of you said that one of your pain points is communicating with the broker, but because it was an anonymous survey, if anyone can just unmute and maybe give us an example of what that means, that way we can see if there's anything we can do on our end.
Going once.
Hi, Keisman.
Hey,
So, I mean, I didn't send that letter, but I feel like basically a lot of our brokers just ignore us until we shut them off. And I don't know how you fix that, except that
yeah.
I don't know. I don't know how to fix that because they literally ignore it. We have a procedure where if we know we're going to have a non-compliant agent, we send an email to the broker and the agent. We copy them on the same letter. Then we follow up with a phone call, and then a couple days later, another email. So they probably get 5 or 6 or more emails, and the ever more threatening. And then sometimes we still just have to cut them off. And I don't know. It's just like they're so busy with their business that they don't pay attention to it until they don't have service.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, that's been our experience. The ones that are on top of it are always on top of it. And I could give you the list of the ones who we have to inactivate them regularly because they don't do what we ask them to do.
I can actually speak a little more on this. I used to work at a local association and I was in charge of the BCT. And unfortunately, that was one of the things that I had to encounter. Usually, what I would do, like Keisman said, start sending the notifications of a deadline that you're providing them. I would usually do it a week to 2 weeks before the official deadline, just because once we used to inactivate them, of course, that's when they were figuring out like what's going on. I never got the email, whatever it was. And it is a little annoying because you start, you get some brokers that are upset because of it. But that was the only thing I was able to do.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I think that is that is definitely the last option. I mean, we never want to turn a broker off, but in order for the associations to meet the compliance objective, I mean, that is the last option. And that's also the reason why I mentioned that, we should only be inactivating brokers Monday through Thursday. And like Sandra said, I think we should try to get ahead of it earlier. So if you're going to inactivate, I mean, I would start that process at least 2 weeks or a week before the deadline. But again, we never want to keep our brokers from doing their job. And so we always just want to make sure we're in. If we have to inactivate them, it's Monday through Thursday, because Friday you're going to get that phone call. Um, and so there's really nothing that we can do to get them to respond to emails. Most broker, well, not most, a lot of these brokers are going to respond once they can get access to zip codes.
I mean, that we have 3 or 4 that's just like, when you see one of their agents pop up on the BCT, it's like, okay, this is where we're going with it. And
Right.
I mean, it's always the same, and I don't know how you fix that. I think I'm not trying to disrespect them. I think they just get so busy doing what they're
Yes.
doing that, it's like, oh, I forgot to pay that bill, kind of thing. They're just
Right.
busy.
I think it would be more disrespectful if we inactivate them on a Friday, because now
Yeah.
it's Saturday, Sunday, and now Monday morning, their attitude is even worse.
Mm-hmm.
So
We try to inactivate Monday mornings,
nice.
And
and
I know
we never inactivate them before. Like, it's like email, phone call, every phone number that they have, we're calling, like, before we do it, like the minute before we send them an email, like call them. We just really try to like make that communication, but sometimes the only time we get a response is when we inactivate them.
Another thing that you could do, I don't know if your association's already doing it or not. Some associations are doing it. They do also charge a LFRO fee. Since you're doing all of that work, we used to offer either 2 options. Either the broker pays that fee for everyone, or they would submit the form and then the agent or the NMSP person would call and provide that payment for that as well.
Send the broker a bill for their non-member assessment fee. That usually rings their bell.
Yeah, right.
Yes.
There was a suggestion on the chat. Looks like Sacramento is they started texting this year through their work phone app, and they're saying that it seemed to work a lot better than emails and voicemails.
Nice.
So I know Note Router offers that option where you're sending all your communications through them. You can also do like a phone system that they have. You would just have to double check with them if they offer that.
Yeah, no, I actually love that, because one of the things that we've explored is, so I don't know if you guys noticed, we have some members that are able to join C.A.R. directly without going through a local board. And that's only if they work in an area where there's no local association. And so during the billing season, we send out, the dues billing notice. And we continue to send that out all the way up until, the February 28th dues delinquency deadline. As you know, March 1st, a late fee goes into effect. And so I really hate to have members pay a late fee. And so I think when you have a texting feature, especially with billing, that always seems to get them to respond. I think a lot of people are on their phone more than email, because you're just getting so many emails, and emails can get lost. And so I do love the texting feature. We haven't implemented it yet, even though I'm saying I love it. I just think that that's something that we have to move towards. Any other questions?
Sophie from Glendale says that they notice billing them for the non-member dues usually works.
Yeah. I have a question, Keisman. You might know the answer to this. Because I'm kind of watching the chat too. Are more associations going toward charging a LIFRO administrative fee. I mean, we haven't ever done that, but last year I saw that pop up and I'm going, huh, I didn't know that was a thing.
Yes, it's actually been in place for a few years now. NAR approved it. So local associations can charge a LIFRO administration fee.
Are most of them in California doing that at this point?
I believe so. I mean, it's nothing that we need to hide. So are there any associations on here that are charging a LIFRO fee just by a show of hands?
Yes.
Oh, nice. Yep. Oh, I see some no's.
Tammy, can you expand? It says, won't LFRO fees just push them to a local board without it?
No. Well, I don't want to say no. I
I
think you
mean, the agent has to, well, they tend to match the broker's membership. So unless the broker joins with like an MLS only, then the agent would join as an MLS only, as long as the broker does not have NAR and C.A.R. membership. Which I haven't really seen a change in that either happening.
are there any more questions out of that?
Sandra says that they charge a $30 fee for LFROs.
Okay. So we do have some associations that are charging the LIFRO administration fee.
Yeah, Santa Barbara is investigating on getting an app to push notifications as well. So I guess it goes back to getting like that text notification on your phone.
Yep.
Some texting features, you know, if you have Note Router, I know just because I used to work with it, they had that offer that you could use with your association. You would just work on how many text messages you can send throughout the year, and they'll give you like a billing for that. I'm not sure if Rapatoni has any feature like that, but it would have to be like an your communications services.
Yeah. I saw a question regarding MLOs being charged a fee, and I will say no, that has not been approved. They are just exempt because they meet certain qualifications.
Sorry, someone's asking if there's a list of approved fees from C.A.R. or NAR that they would like to review it. Is this in regards to the LFRO admin fee, or is this just the dues codes that we're allowed? Ginger, if you can elaborate on that.
If it is regarding the LIFRO fee, we can actually include the language regarding the administration fee with the PowerPoint presentation once we send out the recording.
Okay.
Yeah, that will give you additional information.
Okay. Someone's curious for the ones charging LFRO fees, if you are charging it on an annual or just a one-time fee.
Annual.
Yeah.
Okay, Rapatoni does not offer texting services.
Perfect.
Okay, any other questions? Someone else asking if it's per LFRO or per LFRO office. My guess is that safe to assume is per LFRO because you have to do the admin work for each member that's either changing as an LFRO or coming into your association, and you have to create that account for them.
Yep.
Okay. Looks like that was the last question, unless anyone wants to say anything else.
All right. Well, thank you everybody for joining us. We just lasted 42 minutes today, which was pretty good. We have some great questions. Sandra's going to be sending out the recorded version as well as the PowerPoint. We'll also include the information regarding the LIFRO administration fee as well. And so I look forward to speaking with you guys this month or seeing you at the fall business meetings. All right.
Yeah, and
Everybody,
Keisman, if you can just stay with me just for a little longer. And then just wanted to also, everyone that's here, if you feel like you just want to have like a consultation with Keisman and myself, do more of a one-on-one, you can always go ahead and email us and we can schedule something to meet with you as well.
perfect. Thank you. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you.